Hey guys, this is Nicole Mackin, and I'm here for a Crafty Maven Getaway tag video. And this is a video where we're just going to answer some questions, those of us who contribute to the Crafty Maven Getaway YouTube channel. And they will have a playlist on their channel that you can go to and you can listen to the answers of different contributors to the page. So I have a few questions to answer that they gave us, and I'm looking forward to answering these. So just a real quick intro. Again, my name's Nicole Mackin, and you're at my YouTube page. I hope you are subscribed. If you aren't, please do. If you are interested in different scrapbooking videos, I do videos once or twice a month for the Crafty Maven Getaway, and that is what this tag is for. So definitely check out that page, and I will link it below. So definitely check out the page and check out the other people, wonderful, amazing, talented women that contribute to the YouTube channel, as well as a Facebook page that is attached to the channel. So anyway, I'll just get started here and answer some questions. Pardon me, I'm getting sick, so my voice is getting a little scratchy and weird. So the first question is, what do I love the most about the Crafty Maven Getaway? I love the community. I love that it brings together so many amazing, talented scrapbookers and art journalers, card makers. It's a mix, and that's the other thing I love about it, is that it's a mix of lots of different crafty types. I mean, it's all paper based, but you get a good mix. So if you're more into the art journaling, you have videos that are going to work for you, and if you just do the scrapbooking thing, then you have videos that will work for you. And so there's such a nice mix that you have options, and the fact that there's a video every single day, you're always going to have a plethora of inspiration to go to. So I really love that. And just amazing women. They're also encouraging and like I said, talented, but they're encouraging and helpful. And so yeah, I guess that's kind of lots of answers, but that's what I do love about it. Second question, do I scrap chronologically or whenever it piques my interest? Definitely whenever it piques my interest. I used to scrap chronologically and very quickly stopped doing that. It definitely stifled me. And I think it was probably, I'm guessing, Ellie Edwards or Stacey Julian or one of those, that Kathy Zilski, that got me out of that mindset to be more focused on story versus just having this regimented process that I go through. So I definitely just scrapbook wherever. I really, more often than not, I scrapbook my more recent photos first, because those memories are fresher. And I really love that. And I feel like I'm getting a lot more information down on my pages, because I'm remembering more, and it's more I'm feeling it more than I do, than I feel something that happened 10 years ago. Like, I'm sure I still have feelings about that, but they aren't as strong or current. And so I like doing that. It's definitely a mantra of mine, is to deal with the most recent stuff first, and then it's going to be more fresh and more updated on your page. Third question is, do I scrap standing up or sitting down? I do a mix of both, honestly, but I think I think it's probably like 80-20. I think 80% of the time I sit down. I have a new desk that is a perfect size for me, and I'm able to sit down and watch TV, and it's comfortable. Whereas maybe before, I think in my older house and the table I used to use, it wasn't quite like that. I stood up more often. But every once in a while, I'll stand up. And when I video, I stand up because I have to, because of my setup. So I do stand up when I video. But when I'm just sitting here scrapbooking and watching TV or whatever, I'm generally sitting. So what is more intimidating, using scraps or a new piece of pattern paper? Oh, definitely a piece of pattern paper. I think, just because there's always that kind of like, oh, do I want to cut this up? Am I ready to cut this up? Like, what if I mess it up? It's my only piece that I have, kind of thing. And I think for me, that's more intimidating. Scraps of pattern paper, I don't have a hard time. I stick them all in a bin, and then I go to them every once in a while. And I generally, because I do a lot of layering, using scraps of anything isn't really that hard for me. Do I use a collection or mix it up? Definitely both. but I definitely do work with collections a lot, like a majority of the time. So I actually have a whole series of videos on this called Kit Love. And sometimes I'm working with the one collection and sometimes I'm working with a mix of collections, but I'm still almost always working within a kit. No, I don't always, like 100% of the time I'm not working within a kit. Like I just did a video actually for Twerk It Thursday, which was 2 days ago, for the Crafty Maven Getaway channel, and that I it wasn't a kit that I was working with for multiple layouts, but it actually was it was a manufacturer's kit where all the supplies for one manufacturer were in a bag, and I just limited myself to that. So I guess I did technically work with the kit with that page. I guess my point was that I just grabbed something randomly, and I didn't I wasn't working within a large kit for a period of time because that layout, I just pulled those items for that layout. So most of the time, honestly, I do. When I scrapbook for clients, I often don't because their pictures are completely different from mine and they have different colors, and I usually just pull supplies as I need when I do that. But when I'm usually scrapbooking for myself, it's almost always within a kit. And what I usually do when I buy supplies is I keep all the manufacturer's items together, or for one paper line, not like for multiple paper lines, but I'll keep one paper line together. And I generally try to scrapbook with it as a line for a while, and then when I'm kind of done with that, then I split it up into my stash, and then it becomes part of my stash, and then I can go back to it when I'm creating my homemade kits. So I also create my homemade kits that end up being multiple, items from different manufacturers all mixed together. So I definitely do both, but I'm almost always working within a collection, either by a paper line or by a collection that I've put together on my own in a version of a kit. Favorite day at Crafty Maven. I think the Spotlight Sunday is because I think I converse with these ladies on Facebook and through YouTube, and you get comments from people, and it's so fun to meet them on a really personal level, and I really like watching those. As far as I do love Scraplift Saturday because I do really enjoy the process of scrap lifting. It's really a big part of my process, and I do have some kind of exciting news in that topic of scrap lifting. I'm not for sure if I'm supposed to say anything yet, so I'm going to hold off, but I will have some fun things happening soon that has to do with scrap lifting. So just put that little teaser out there. So that's probably my favorite scrapbooking day, but I really do like to watch the scrap lift or the Spotlight Sundays where you get to meet the ladies. All right, what scrappy supply am I obsessed with? I would say, I'm trying to think of what I really like. Lately, I really like the really big word thickers that are part of Amy Tan's and Maggie Holmes, and I think Dear Lizzie's lines. They're usually black or white or gold. I really like those. I think, and I've gotten every single one I think that's come out. For some reason, they seem to fit my pages really well. They work really great as partial titles. And because I am really bad at titles, I don't know. I have a thing. I have so many letter stickers, and I just have a hard time going to them and pulling them out and using them. So if I have a word that works, then and it's just easier to apply to the page, then I go to those, and I really really like those. So a trend what element has to be added to consider it done? My page done. So I would say definitely I really like those finishing little touches, those little specks of interest. And so usually it includes an enamel dot, a brad enamel dot, or splatter spray. Probably are the things that once I get those on there, that I feel like there's some fun little tidbits that have been added that are going to add to the finishing touches of the page. A trend I'm over with or I don't understand. Honestly, probably the different animals, like the deer and the foxes, and they're super cute, but I'm sure I'm not the only one, I tend to be a literal scrapper. So luckily I live in the country and I actually like, we have a lot of animals around us. We have a lot of deer and I've taken pictures of them because it's fun when they're like in your yard. Like it's different than if you just see them on the road. And so I've been able to use them for that reason, and we see foxes every once in a while, but I tend to be literal, so I'm most likely going to use animal um, embellishments most likely when I'm at the zoo. And so I I don't know. So I have a hard time with them. I'll just say that. Okay. Um, one embellishment that took me forever to use, and they asked us if we could show, and I just couldn't really think of one, so I didn't know what layout to look for. Um, I honestly don't know if I can answer that. I don't remember. I know recently, in like my last layout share, I did a page. It was like an 8x10 black and white photo of my daughter, and I used an old My Mind's Eye card. That was with. It wasn't super old though, but it was a little bit older. I don't know. I guess I don't know how to answer that. I purge a lot, and if I don't use stuff, I kind of get rid of it. I don't know. So I'm kind of gonna have to skip that one. Do I pre-plan videos? I do to a certain extent. Usually because I do most of the scrapbooking days, like the scrap lift Saturday or the twerk it Thursday or the free flow Wednesday. Like the Thursdays and Saturdays, you're following a sketch or you're scraplifting. So it's kind of hard not to pre-plan a little bit because you're being given this thing that you kind of have to follow. But even just my general process videos on this page here, even if they're not for Crafty Maven, I do a little bit. I just kind of get a general idea of what photos I want to use and like the papers usually, because that takes me the longest, and then I go from there. So I do a little bit. Okay, my non-scrappy hobbies. So I really like to read. I am in a book club. I have a few girlfriends that we get together once a month and we read a book. And then there's another town nearby. Once a year, we get together with them, and both towns read the same book. And then we kind of do a combination book club. We just had that. Was it last week? Last week. So I love to read, and that has really been expansive for me as far as gotten me to read things I wouldn't normally think to read, which is always so fun. I really like to organize. I love to organize, and we just moved, so I feel like I'm constantly organizing or reorganizing something. Like now that we've lived here and we've kind of gotten in our groove, I'm figuring out where we like things. So I really like that. To me, that's a hobby. I know it sounds really crazy, but and then I do like to make other crafty items. I own a business that sells like handmade crafty stuff, and it's also a coffee shop, so it's kind of become a hobby is drinking coffee a lot. But I do like to make some crafty things for it and resell them. So cards and clipboards, like decorative clipboards that I use Mod Podge for, and just magnets and things like that. So that's fun. But scrapbooking is my main hobby. I can't think of really any more besides reading. So I don't know that I could afford another hobby. So, how has been in Crafty Maven changed my scrapbooking? I think it's kind of pushed me into being maybe a little bit more professional. Like, it's definitely been an evolving thing. Like I started off with like awful lighting and, not knowing what I was doing. And I'm definitely have more cleaner layouts now. And I talk a little bit better than what I used to. I still talk fast and I still say a lot and things. I'm definitely not a professional, but I think knowing that I was contributing to someone else's baby per se, kind of has made me think, gosh, okay, I really need to think about what I'm saying and doing, and not that I'm perfect I'm not. Like I don't know, I need to work on a lot of things and I need to become more technology savvy a little bit. I need to get a better setup for my camera. There's lots of things I need to do. It's just the time and the money to do them. But I think it just maybe, I don't know if it's changed my scrapbooking. I think it's more changed my YouTube being, if that makes sense. But I don't know that it's changed my scrapbooking. I think they encourage us to be ourselves, like to use our style and to like Free Flow Wednesday is basically about that. It's about making a page that is your style. And when I scrap lift or do sketches, I generally always transition them into my style. So I don't feel like I've had to change anything at all, for sure. But it has opened my eyes. YouTube in general does this, but this more specifically in the Crafty Maven, it has definitely encouraged me to check out other types of scrapbooking. So like the art journaling and different things like that, because I do watch the videos, and I'm a little bit behind, but I do try to watch the videos, and so it opens my eyes to different things that I could do, and if I so get the desire. So that is it. That's the questions. That is the end of the tag, and thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you go to Crafty Maven Getaway YouTube channel, there will be a playlist that will be labeled, I think, October tag. And you can go watch other ladies answer the same questions and kind of get to know all of us a little bit better. So thank you so much for watching, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.